Hello, everybody, and welcome to day 21 of my Forex trading journey. And let's get that one-click trader going. Okay, welcome everybody to my Forex trading journey. I hope each and every one of you are having a absolutely amazing. What is it right now? I hope everyone is having a absolutely amazing. Hello, brain fart. I hope everybody is having a absolutely amazing day so far. Whew, there we go. Finally, wow. I definitely need more coffee. It sounds like, but anyway, I hope each and every one of you are doing well. And today we are going to go ahead and we are going to keep on moving with our trading journey, and we are actually going to be trading on platinum today. That's our first trade for the day. Now you might be wondering, Jordan, what exactly are you doing at this particular moment? Well, what I'm doing specifically is I am measuring out with my crosshair tool right here. This is the crosshair tool, by the way. I am measuring out specifically the lowest wick of the candle right here that gave us that buy opportunity. Now, the reason being is because I'm going to go ahead and I will be testing out a new strategy. I will be testing out a new strategy specifically on this particular pair, and that being I'm actually going to be doing something a little bit differently with platinum compared to all of my other pairs, and I'll explain why in just a moment. First, let me make sure I've got that right. Okay. We are at 100. We want to make sure that we're at 100 points right here. That is how I based and the reason I placed that at 100 points, as I'll explain here in just a moment, is because, there we go. I will be going ahead and I will be doing something a little bit different with the risk management strategy on the 5-minute time frame for platinum. Now, our risk management is very important in terms of making sure that our equity is going to be in line with what we are trying to do with our trading. Without risk management, our equity would indeed go away. And so understanding that trading just generally on the 5 and the 15-minute time frame is difficult with platinum right now, we are going to go ahead and do a little bit of an advanced strategy where I'll be measuring out 100 points. Now, 100 points, the reason I am looking at that specifically is that is what I've been basing each and every one of the trades that we have been doing so far. So the 100 points allows us to pick out a risk management strategy where for every $100 that's in my account, the lot size would increase by 0.01. So I would measure 100 points from the lowest point of the wick that we have right here. And if price goes down to that particular area, it would automatically engage in a sell trade for us. And us, as the viewers, would then be able to see a sell trade being placed, and we are automatically hedged into that particular position. Now, one of the benefits for doing it that way is the fact that this is essentially a way that we can automatically set what's called a stop loss. Now, again, we don't technically set a stop loss with our hedging strategy because there's no need, since we are we are making sure that our account is margined out. But this is a good way to mechanically set up that stop loss. And for example, let's say that happens. We hit our sell trade, the buy arrow is still there. Then what we can do on the back end is get ourselves prepared for another buy trade, or if needed, if the sell trade that we had placed ever went into profit, we could also go ahead and close that out and dictate the strategy that way. Now, that was a lot of words, and certainly a visual would definitely be a lot more appealing than me just talking about it. So we're going to be able to see a live example of that if we ever do come to that particular situation. But that is platinum right now. Right now, we're just taking a look at gold, silver. We're looking at gold versus the euro. We're looking at oil, and there's not really a whole lot going on right there. So we only have platinum to go ahead and play with at this particular time. So besides that, I hope each and every one of you, again, are having a absolutely amazing day so far. And what I wanted to do as this particular trade is going on, and again, the reason we're getting into this trade specifically is we do notice that there is while it is a little bit consolidated, just looking at the market structure for sure, I do understand that right now we are moving in a upward direction. I can tell that when price so far has gotten to this particular point, so I'm looking at right around here, 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 right around here. Everything has been shooting up just a little bit. Excuse me, just give me 1 second. Okay. Everything has been shooting up. So, with the history of where price has been, then that tells me that we are also going to go ahead and we are moving up with platinum in terms of a trade opportunity. So we are allowing this particular trade to play out in the meantime. So with that being said, let's clear all those drawings out of the way now. What I did want to talk about is I want to go back to David Goggins. You Can't Hurt Me. We were talking about the impossible task, and just to give everybody a recap on what we were specifically talking about with David Goggins in the impossible task. We talked about the first step on the journey. We talked about doing all the things or writing down the things that don't necessarily make us comfortable. And we also want to talk about doing them and how we wanted to go ahead and do this piece by piece and look at everything that is considered a weakness and turn to a strength. Now, I also got a different interpretation from the book, and I'll explain. I do know, and I'm not trying to sound arrogant, mind you, but I do know what my own particular strengths are, right? I know specifically what I'm good at, and I also know specifically what I suck at, for lack of a better word, what I suck at. So, with the things that I suck at, I'm actually going to go ahead and not allow myself to, work upon them, but instead, I'm going to gather the knowledge on how to work on those things first. And let me dive a little bit deeper to explain. So I talked about how while I'm good at the trading, the podcasting, talking voice, all that good stuff, what I do find a weakness in is marketing. That's probably one of my biggest weaknesses in a way. And so to help me with that particular problem, I have I have been blessed with the ability to have people in my circle that are much better at marketing than I am, and I can rely on them for information. I can gather information for them, so I could turn that weakness of marketing into a more. Oh, we can see that the arrows disappeared, so I really didn't even need that sell stop. So I'm going to delete that, and I'm actually going to put that back on there. And so under, excuse me, understanding all of that, now we just go ahead. The arrows disappeared, and we wait for our next opportunity with platinum. So while we weren't able to necessarily see the sell stop in action, do know that as we move forward and trade platinum a bit more, we're going to be able to see that what I like to call we're going to be able to see what's going on with platinum in a little bit more detail. So we'll come back to platinum when there's an opportunity. Right now, we are also looking at some other opportunities out in the market as well, and we're not seeing anything as of yet. So we will be right back when we do see that opportunity. All right, everybody. So we are back at it, and as we can see, we are currently seeing a arrow pointing down for a sell opportunity on platinum as we could speak. That is going to go ahead and this candle will close in the next about 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. We're going to go ahead and place that sell right there. I'm also going to go ahead and let me just measure this out right here. Let me see right here. So the high point was at 910.85. Where's 910.85? Close enough. Okay. And then that would mean that 100. Okay. Okay, just give me 1 second. Let me see right here. All right, just give me 1 second right here. Stop loss or take profit. All right, folks, no worries. Okay, so that has also this can't this buy arrow has all I'm sorry, the sell arrow has disappeared. So we're gonna go ahead and place a buy right there. So a couple of crazy things are happening with platinum right now with the arrow kind of coming in and coming out. Again, absolutely okay. I understand that right now we are kind of also in a or not kind of, I'm sorry. I do understand that we are in a ranged market. So price is going up, price is going down. Just taking a look at everything else while we wait for to come back to platinum. There's not a whole lot going on in terms of activity. So platinum so far has been the only source of trades at this particular moment. And while we're not necessarily getting anywhere with platinum as of yet, we are going to be able to find those opportunities as we move forward. So we'll keep an eye out on platinum. We'll keep an eye out on all of the other pairs that are going on in the market right now. And of course, we'll be right back when we see a opportunity. All right, everybody. So we are back at around the 7:55 hour. Been waiting for an opportunity to show up, and finally it has platinum. We're going to go ahead and place a buy trade right there for platinum. And what I'm going to do is measure out this distance right here, get ourselves down to about 100 right here. Bear with me, everybody. So I'll even do a little bit down. That's fine. So we'll go ahead and we'll place a sell stop right here. If price decides to come down just a little bit for us. But that is how I'm going to go ahead and work with platinum for the time for our phase 3 of our strategy. Right now, I'm still focused on phase 2 for most of the other pairs, including gold versus the United States dollar. I'm focused on phase 2 for silver versus the US dollar. I'm focused on phase 2 for gold versus euro. And I'm focused on phase 2 for US oil, only because I really want to go ahead and start to experiment on, if that particular strategy is valid, the 15-minute strategy. But I'm also working on phase 3 with platinum because we have seen that there have been 2 failures following a particular phase of the strategy we've been using. So of course we got to go ahead and tweak it because I'm very confident that platinum does have a strategy that can be, utilize. It's just a matter of making sure, okay, which one do we need to use in order to help us go ahead and move forward. So right now we're on a platinum trade. Right now we're on a buy trade, so we're going to allow that particular trade to play out for us. And then in the meantime, what we're also going to do is we're going to go ahead and we are going to continue on what we have been talking about as far as the impossible task. We talked about, not to do a recap, because you've probably already seen the recap on the earlier part of our recording. But the main point in doing the impossible task, or even doing those things that make you uncomfortable, even the small things, even taking the small steps, the objective is the more often you get uncomfortable, the stronger you'll become, and soon you'll develop a more productive can-do dialogue with yourself in stressful situations. And what we also want to do alongside that is we want to go ahead and we want to take a photo or video of ourselves in the discomfort zone, post it on social media describing what you're doing and why. Now, how does I have as far as how that's going to look, sorry about that. I'm just kind of thinking right here out loud. But as far as how that is been playing in my life, of course, not only have you been seeing these videos as far as watching me along my trading journey, taking the trades that I'm taking and explaining why I'm taking these trades, and just kind of going back to, okay, why we take that buy trade. It's a matter of just making sure that we understand that we're at a higher low right now. If I drew a trend line right here, we could definitely see that we are on the way up from our lowest point right here. So that gives me a bit more confidence that we are indeed moving forward in the right direction. Now, if we want to think about it like this, the matter of the fact is, for us to go ahead and be involved in this particular on this particular video journey, I also feel it's also necessary to take a photo of the accounts I'm trading on, posting the results in case people aren't able to watch these videos, and also document the journey in that particular way. Again, is it uncomfortable to see people, oh, this is what I'm doing? This is what's going on with my account. These are all the things that are going inside my mind. Absolutely. As I just kind of cycle around, see if there's any other opportunities while we're talking. Nope. Okay. Just platinum for right now. Now, as we go ahead and as we talk about this, yes, it is very uncomfortable in that sense to know, hey, you're not only seeing me take these winning trades, but you're also seeing me take these particular losing trades as well. Of course, it's very uncomfortable. And just also, just to not to interject right here, but we do have the now buy arrow moving to the next candle. So as soon as that candle closes, as long as that arrow continues to show up, we're going to go ahead and we're going to take our next buy trade right here. But coming back to what I was talking about earlier, the idea is that the more that I do this and the more that I'm comfortable showing that vulnerability within myself, let me go ahead and take a buy trade right here. But the idea is the more that we go ahead and we do this, the more then I will feel comfortable as far as making sure that I'm doing everything in my power to allow us to move forward. And bear with me, I just need to get my, okay, that works for me. Let's do a sell stop right here. Now, the idea is, again, the more that we do this, the more that we go ahead and we're comfortable with the fact that we're working on this strategy and that we're moving forward in the right direction, even with the setbacks that we face, the better prepared I am to talk about what's going on, the better prepared the better prepared we are in terms of the collective handling what's going on with their accounts. That way we know the proper strategies that need to be in place in order to go ahead and take the trades that we want to, and ultimately benefit from the tremendous opportunity that we have within us in this particular market. Again, this is not an easy journey, which is why, which is how come I already know that not a lot of people watch what I'm doing. That again, I've got views on my videos, and I'm very grateful for those particular views, that particular support. Your questions, by the way, absolutely amazing. I just want to thank you once again for doing that and being fully participative in what we're doing. But I also understand at the same time that not a lot of people are looking at these particular videos only because this isn't necessarily or this wouldn't be a lot of people's cup of tea. There's only a specific person I'm targeting with watching these videos, as far as putting in the work, putting in that dedication to want to get out of the situation that we're all currently in. That's not to say that our situations are great, good, bad, terrible, or anything else. Everyone's going through their own journey. Everyone is going through their own path. So my job is to just show us day by day how we're going to carve a way to get out of that path. And the more that I understand that, and the more that I keep doing the things that I do, even though I know that this is dreadfully uncomfortable, then the better prepared I am to keep this journey moving forward the way that it needs to. Now, another topic that I want to go ahead and discuss from the book, because I don't really call we've talked about the impossible task for a couple of days, so I feel like I need to go ahead and shift over to now a different topic. But the topic I want to talk about now is taking souls. And what we're going to do in this situation is we're going to choose any competitive situation that we are in right now. So, in the case of Forex trading, it's not necessarily that we are competing with people. What we're doing is we're following the leader. We don't know where that direction the particular leader is going. Only we're able to follow or follow the leader based on the current data that we have and understand, okay, this is the direction that we're probably taking. So we want to go ahead and take those trades. Now, the aim for this particular situation is to be in a state of excellence, in a state of a beautiful mind, a state of a growth mind, in the state of a 10x mind where we're always looking to expand. Now, at the same time, I also understand this particular point as well. I am not the only Forex education trader that's out there. I completely understand that. There are other beautiful Forex education traders that are out there. There are other beautiful, amazing Forex education coaches that are out there, and I am one of them. However, understanding that I am one of them, I bring my own set of uniqueness. We talked about this, I believe, last week or the week before, where you have to understand that in order to be the best in your field, you have to have a different set of beliefs than everybody else, that you have to have a different strategy that sets you apart from everybody else. And you have to be confident that that strategy will indeed work and will be beneficial to the people that watch you. So understanding that, I know that my aim is to go for a state of excellence, no matter how good, bad, ugly things can get in this particular market. I'm taking a buy there right now because, again, our candle closed with the buy arrow moving over to the next candle. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this candle right here, going to measure out 100 points. Oh, let me do that again because now we got the chart moving right here. Oh, okay. All right, that's all good though. That's all good. That's what we want. But I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to place a sell stop right over in that particular sector right there. That's about 100 points away from the low point right here, 1960. This would be about, let's see, that would be about 917.54. Okay, perfect. So that's about 100 points. That's what we want. So now coming back to what we were talking about, excellence. If we understand that we are in a state of excellence each and every time that we're coming into the market, then what we're doing, matter of factly, is we are allowing ourselves to go ahead and move forward in the right direction. We're allowing ourselves to say, hey, I'm not saying that I'm better than anybody. Well, here's my mindset. My mindset is I love everybody that's out there. I love all the Forex education teachers. I love all those people because at one point in time, I did learn from them, and at one point in time, they gave me the tools, the vision, the skills, the experience, and the confidence to go out there and do what I'm doing. I consider them role models, I consider them influences, but I also understand that at the same time, my mindset is I don't want to be the next whoever the greatest Forex coach education teacher is. I don't want to be the next blah blah blah. I want to be the Jordan Rosario of Forex trading. I want to be the Jordan Rosario of Forex education coaching. It's just like, for example, if we want to go into life coaching, for example, Dean Graziosi, who I have a tremendous amount of respect for, he did learn from Tony Robbins. But, and again, I'm not trying to assume what he wants. So, I don't take that position, but I can envision that he's not going to himself saying, oh, I want to be the next Tony Robbins. I want to be the Dean Graziosi of life coaching. I want to be the Dean Graziosi of internet marketing. And by framing it in that way, we're understanding that we're not disrespecting those who've come before us. We're not disrespecting the competition. All we're saying is that we want to show our own unique identity out in the markets, even though we respect the heck out of everybody that's come before us, who is with us and will be here in the future. We understand that we want our own unique signature as we're trading. And that's what I'm doing. I'm showing my own unique signature in trading, and I'm willing to take that responsibility of having that unique signature, of having the responsibility of teaching in this matter, of having the responsibility to show what my results are like day after day, brick by brick, step by step, and trade by trade. Work harder than you have ever have before. Do everything expected and aim to surpass that. Absolutely. While I have the trading journey going, I'm always looking for, I'm coming back and reviewing these videos, seeing what I could have done better. I also have other content, as you're aware. We've got our mastermind interviews. We've got or at least I've got my own motivational or mindset teachings on the channel as well. And I'm always looking to do other things and looking to expand, do everything that is above what you would expect from me, because I know the more content, the more stuff that I can explore and bring to the table, the more I set myself apart from everybody else that's out there, because of the belief that I know that I can go ahead and do this. And again, this may all sound overwhelming right now, but I'm going to refer you back to the principle of Kaizen to know that you can do this one step at a time. Don't do this all right now. Don't make the progress. Don't feel like you have to do this overnight, but do take action in what it is that you want to accomplish step by step. Work harder. We did that already. Your goal is to make them watch what you achieve, what they could have never done themselves, right? This is my job. This is me showing everybody how I trade. This is showing everybody how I learn, how I fail, how I improve, how I grow. I'm watching everyone is what for those that are watching, I should say. I don't want to sound too arrogant again, but for those that are watching, I understand in your eyes that you have never seen anything like this before. You've never done anything like this before. You wouldn't even know where to start to do anything like this before, which is exactly how come almost on every video I say, please go to day one and then start your way up. Because I do feel that everyone has to start on their day one of their journey, even myself. When we did this whole coaching journey, on my day one, I started on my own day one. And we went through and we broke down the basics and we showed the little pieces, and then we built that up to day two, and then to day three, day four, day five, day six. I don't want to sound like a broken record. So basically all the way to about day 21 right now. And what I understand is that if you just went to day 21, if this was technically your first day and you went to day 21, you'd see all this stuff that's going on. You'd be like, whoa, that, this is all overwhelming, which is why on day one, we start with one pair and then we break things down. And then we start with day two. We still keep up with that pair. Then the next week, then we went to silver. The next week after that, then we went to platinum. The next week after that, then we went to gold versus euro. And now this week we have oil on the charts. But we didn't start that way on day one with all 5 pairs at once, thinking that everyone was going to trade 5 pairs at once. No, we had to lay a blueprint for day one to start here. Then we keep going, and then we start to build momentum at that particular point in time. Now you want those who will watch you or for whatever it is that you do. Again, I understand that a lot of us aren't just Forex traders by profession or by desire. We look at this as an opportunity for all of us to financially grow, because I know that you have different passions that are out there. Maybe you're like me as a podcaster and you really want to just pursue your podcasting idea. You want to pursue your podcasting topic, and you're using this as a way to generate income so that you can have more freedom to focus on your podcast. What I'm really trying to get at, and there's so many other professions that are out there, matchmaker, life coach, athlete, or I don't know, the list goes on, right? I could throw so many different professions that are out there, but musician, right? I could throw so many professions that are out there, but again, we don't have all day, or we really don't have the remainder of this day to talk about all the different professions that you can do and the dreams that you can pursue. Rather, that is your own to know, and for you, your own to understand the what and why first before you get to the how. You want them thinking how amazing you are. Take their negativity and use it to dominate their task with everything you've got. And in a sense, I want to take the soul, right? And now let me just back up before, because that sounds a little that sounds a little weird. So we all have a soul within us, and within the soul, there are positive actions, there are negative actions. It's like a yin yang kind of thing, where we got a soul that has the positivity within us, and we also have a shadow side that has the negativity within us. Now, my goal is that while the positive soul is thinking, oh, wow, this is so cool. Forex trading is so cool. Like, look at all these different things. Look at all the different things that I can learn. Look at how I can help grow my own account. And then you've got your negative soul that's saying, oh, you can't do this. Oh, this is way too overwhelming. Oh, look at this guy. He doesn't have a slightest clue on how to help you. Or you're never going to be able to do this. You should stop right here and go do something else with your time. See, it's that negative soul right there that I'm trying to take and I'm trying to get out of you so that your positivity can only be focused on this. And that's what I mean by take their motherfucking soul. It's not that I want to take your soul. I am not some demon from hell, not to get too religious or blasphemous right here. I'm not trying to impose myself upon that. No, all I'm really trying to say is you've got positive, soulful thoughts on this. You've got negative, soulful thoughts on this. And by me teaching, what I'm doing is I'm getting to your negative part of the soul, and I'm trying to rip that out of you. I'm trying to be like the Terminator on that thing. I would be back. That was a terrible Arnold Schwarzenegger impression, and I fully know that, but that's okay. I'm comfortable with saying that was a terrible Arnold Schwarzenegger impression. Coming back to the point, all I'm really getting at is the fact that, listen, I know that this is uncomfortable. I know you've got doubts, and all I'm trying to do is take those doubts away from you so that you can really start to see the benefits of trading in the Forex market. So, and that's what I mean by taking souls. Just taking the negative parts of your soul and allowing those positive thoughts, allowing the positive energy from your soul to come out a little bit more. And if we really think about it, right, that is something that is very concerning when it comes to the financial market. While all this is going on, by the way, were you doing anything with the other pairs? No, not really. And if we really think about it like this, all we've been really doing is, especially these first 21 days, you have questions. And again, I appreciate each and every question that comes in. But a lot of the questions I notice are very valid questions. There are questions that are indeed, and it's not, and believe me, I'm not here to judge. I'm not here to say anything or I'm not here to label anything. I'm just coming from my own perspective where I had these same questions. And I know that these particular questions I had about Forex trading, and that I will continue to have questions on Forex trading, are coming from that low point in me. Or they came from a scarcity. They came from a fearful mindset. They came from a point where I didn't fully believe in what Forex trading could do. A lot of these same questions that come up, that was what I had too. And what I understood is that, that the question itself was valid, right? The question itself had very important points, but the way that I was framing it was more so in a sense of this can't happen. And so whenever I do any of these videos, it's a matter of, we're going to take that negative energy. And again, we're just labeling the energy. We're not labeling the question. We're not labeling the person, but we're taking the negative energy out of that question, that very valid question, from that very valid person who's wanting to learn. And we're transforming that that negative energy. We're casting the negative energy out. We're putting that negative energy out somewhere else besides in our space. And now we're infusing it with positive energy to be like, okay, let me show you the light to this particular question, and you'll be able to get a better vision, get a better concept of what we're actually doing here. And by framing it in that particular perspective, I definitely believe is going to help a lot of people who are still wanting to learn exactly how trading works. It's akin to, in my eyes, this day 1 to day 20, when you first start out, it's like running it's like bicycling. When you first bicycle, you have no idea what you're doing. You got to get the training wheels, maybe the training wheels, and you still might fall down. It just happens. Then as you start to fall down and you build that memory of, okay, I am getting not only my muscle of how to do this, but now I know some of the things that I shouldn't be doing so that I don't fall off the bicycle again. And then at some point, you'll still fall off the bicycle. Even if you're well trained in this, you're like, oh, so that happened because I was doing this in something that you didn't even realize at that point in time was bad, because you were still wanting to go ahead and keep going. Then as you start to continue on this particular path, you'll still be able to see, okay, if you're still working on trading, or if you're still on that bicycle, do know that you're still going to stumble and fall along the way, even if you believe in your own mindset that you have everything worked out. And that's because there are still little pieces out there, still little puzzle pieces that you don't believe, you can't even, not to get too out there, but you still can't see the things that you need to see because you don't know what you don't know. And once you know, now you know how to utilize that information. And so this is what this journey has been about too, in a way. We're learning new things about the Forex market every day. We're learning and we're growing together. And the things that we are learning now, even within these 20, 21 days, we're still learning something. Those learning pieces only help us and not hurt us. And that's the beautiful thing about life. Again, I'll point out, if you are not growing, you're dying. And if you're growing, you're absolutely living. And as we keep moving forward within this journey, and I may have mentioned this a couple of times already, there are still things within this space that I don't know yet, because in a sense, I don't know some of the things that I don't know yet. We're going to run into these obstacles, and as we continue with all of our different segments, there are things that I'm not going to know right now that I am confident I'll know in the future. And so we'll get better. We'll keep doing this together. And by sticking along this journey, you're going to start learning too. At first, it's going to feel like a fire hose. I know it did for me. But then as you start to get hit by the fire hose more often, you'll be conditioned. You'll pick up on some things. You'll start to apply those things. You know, knowledge, now people always say knowledge is power. Knowledge is potential power until you apply that knowledge, then it becomes power. Then once you are able to apply that knowledge, apply that power, then you'll have the capability to grow and start to develop more power and more power and more power and more power. And then at that point, your power level, not to make a Dragon Ball Z reference, but your power level will be over 9,000. I love that show. Love Vegeta. If you're an anime fan, you haven't checked out Dragon Ball Z, you must check out Dragon Ball Z. But anyway, we're watching this particular trade go. We've got about 2 open buy trades on platinum, oil, gold versus euro, silver versus United States dollar, and gold versus United States dollar. Nothing doing yet, so we're just kind of hanging out with platinum for right now, which is absolutely all right, because you know that's perfect. You know, we right now we're just focusing on one pair, and that's fine. There are times where we may focus on multiple pairs, and that will be a fun situation. But for right now, we're just focused on doing what we need to do with platinum in the meantime. And so we'll be right back to check on this trade. All right, everybody. So we are back again. We are just looking at platinum right now in terms of our trade, just to know how that is all going. I am currently looking right now for my pencil. I don't know where my pencil went. It has seemed to disappeared on me, which is absolutely perfect. I just need to go ahead and find that particular pencil. So I just wanted to check up on this trade. Okay, I will be right back again. All right, everybody. So I have grabbed myself a new pencil. So that was the story. That's the end of that story arc with the missing pencil right there. So let's go ahead and let's move forward. So one question I did get, and I wanted to address, is stop loss, and how is that covered in my strategy? And I do believe that's a very valid question. So phase one. So I really want to go ahead and break down what is going on with my strategy. And I know that so far, what we've been doing is we've been breaking this particular strategy down into 3 phases, if you will. So let's talk phase one. Phase one, we used the 5-minute time frame, and that was specifically tested on gold, silver, platinum and partially on gold versus euro. And we were using the trend risk management as well as the enter and exit part of our strategy. And we were testing on the 5-minute time frame on arrows that were going up and arrows that were going down. We did understand at that point that the down arrow meant that we were looking at a sell trade because price was in a downtrend. And we also understood that buy arrows uptrend. We also knew where we wanted to go ahead and have our risk management. And that's still the same across the board, by the way. For every $100, I will adjust my lot size by 0.01. And throughout that particular strategy, we went ahead and we were able to come up with a game plan to exit the trades, which you're still doing. You know, we either exit the trades at a 3% account gain or a 30 pips in profit per trade as well. Now, the other part was we were also exited the trade when the buy arrow or sell arrow itself disappeared, no longer confirming that we were in a uptrend or a downtrend. And that was how we were doing this particular strategy. Now, we were also taking into consideration cost average, which we're still doing. And that is when the buy arrow moves over to the next candle, we go ahead and we take a different trade, or we place another buy position, and compared to our first position, most of the time, there have been a few exceptions, I know, just kind of looking at where we were at. But I know that most of the time that was because we were in the first position would have been in a down or drawdown. So the second trade, if that got into, or the first trade got into profit as we were placing the second trade would have been in profit. And that's how we were rolling that particular strategy. Now we got to a point where our account was busted on the 5 minutes. So we had to then adjust our strategy on phase 2. And we went over into the 15-minute time frame. Everything was the same as in phase 1, but now we're moving into the 15-minute time frame instead. Now, as far as platinum concerned, phase 3, and this is where now we're going to talk the stop loss and how is that covered in my strategy. Now our idea is if our trade gets into a 1% drawdown and the candle moves over to the next, and the buy arrow or the sell arrow, depending on the situation, moves over to the next candle, we're still going to go ahead and take a trade, whether that's a cost average or a new buy trade. But if the original position goes down 1% in drawdown, then we go ahead and, as we're seeing, we've got a couple of sell stops right there. We place those sell trades right there, or those sell trades would come up for us, put a kibosh on the original trade. That way we are protecting ourselves a little bit more. Now, as to how this is going to work, will the strategy work for us? Only time will tell at this particular moment. However, what I can say is that this is the direction we want to go ahead and take. That way we're making sure that we ourselves are moving forward in the right direction. So that is how stop loss is covered in my strategy. And then again, as we continue to learn more about these markets, as we continue to execute our trades, what we're also going to notice is there's still going to be a lot of learning that all of us are going to need to do. I've talked about how, as being a teacher, I would need to go ahead and combine the student energy and the master energy both into one. So let me go ahead and break down what I mean by that, because that does sound like that does sound very new age. That sounds very woo woo. All the student energy is that I'm in a particular state. I am in a particular place, a particular mindset where I understand I don't know everything. I understand that there's still a lot for me to learn and develop and grow in order to become the trader that I want to. And so if I can understand there's still things that I need to learn, things that I need to review, going back to my mentors, Salvatore Leto, Maurice Katz, Dr. Luis Ariaza, Ryan Doktorchek, so many others. As long as I know that I can go back to them and look at a few different things, incorporate that into my own teachings and be able to pass that out to the public, then we can go ahead and continue to still grow together as a team, still be able to grow together as a community. Now, going back to the master energy, so that's part of it, right? So student energy is part of the teacher energy, which is to continuously learn and grow. However, as I continuously learn and grow, I understand the other side of it is what I am getting, what I am gaining in terms of knowledge, in terms of information. I must be able to also pass that along to those who don't even know those particular steps. That way I can make their own journey easier as I continue to move forward in my journey. And that's where the master energy comes into play. The master energy takes what the master knows. Again, I'm not trying to put a title on me that says master. I'm trying to outline the concept of what a master is. But the information that the master knows, he passes along to those who don't know this information so that they are able to grow, become better, and potentially one day surpass the master in learning. Now, being a teacher, I combine both those energies together because as I grow as a student, I can teach as a master. And the more that I teach as a master, a lot of the audience will have their own strategies, their own comments, their own inputs, and will only force me to become a student even more. So in the teacher role, I'm allowed to use the student and master energy and have it work as a cycle of growth for me. And I think that's very important to me. And for those that also want to consider being a teacher, that's the perspective I'd like to offer to those who want to do it. Because the more that you teach, the more that you understand you must learn so that you could teach more. Now, another thing that I also put into, and I know that this is not the place to do this right now, I'd rather, and I think I talked about it on a Friday, what was that, day 19, where a big part of my beliefs do come from spirituality. Initially, I am a Roman Catholic, not the best practicing Roman Catholic, mind you, but I am in the religious denomination since I am a Roman Catholic. But for me, my main sense of belief, my main sense of spirituality comes from the principles of astrology and more so numerology as well. They have taught me a few lessons, or they have showed me a few things that I didn't know until I learned it at that particular moment. And so I do believe that those principles will be important into a sense of what we can learn from that and how we can grow from it. So I do plan on, again, this particular channel. I don't want to have like a million different YouTube channels, but I don't desire to have a million different YouTube channels. So I will cover a series on astrology at some point. I don't know when, I don't know how, but I know the what and why. So that's important. And as long as I have that seed planted on this video when I get to it, it's only going to be a reminder for me to get that particular point done. And as we move, and as we know with trading, as we know with our way that we need to grow, just coming back to that student master energy, a huge part of that as well is being adaptable, not being so rigid that you're not what's the word I'm looking for? You're not willing to see, okay, there have been some errors in my ways. How can I take this and grow and move forward further in the direction that I would like to grow? And that's where being adaptable is. And a few examples of that are the fact that, so far we've covered what happens when a bull market turns into a bear market when we have buy trades. We've also covered what happens in a bear market that turns into a bull market when we have sell trades that are currently open, and the strategies that we're using in order to adapt to that. And that part, we have seen how it's worked and also how it's not worked in our favor. And so by understanding, okay, what are the things that we can go ahead and do a little bit better in that sense? Again, that just allows us to grow even further and take the necessary direction that we need in order to keep improving and continue to get progress on the trading results that we all want in a sense. And so just coming back now to, let me just get that out of the way. And so also with that being said, I'm going to repeat again what we're looking for when we see, when we see these arrows, right? These up down arrows that are very nice on our tool right here, our scalper tool. What does that mean? What does that mean big picture wise? If we see an up arrow, then we understand that we are in a bull market. And so in a bull market, that means that we are more so looking for buy opportunities rather than sell opportunities. Now, in a bear market, what we're going to be looking for is, we know that the market is in a downward turn, prices are going down. So our objective would be to go ahead and look for sell opportunities, right? That is the one note I want everyone to go ahead and take down. Bull markets, we look for buy opportunities. Because, okay, we'll do this. Hold on. We'll do this. Give me a second. I'm gonna redo that one. Okay, so bull markets, we look for buy opportunities because we understand that in a bull market, prices are going up, right? That's not, oh, let me close this trade out. There we go. Okay. Sorry about that. Did not mean to get too excited right there. So I'm going to show everybody something. Now that we have closed one trade because we were in 30 pips in profit, what that does to us is, first, that takes our margin down from one open trade to now two open trades to one open trade. So I don't need the sell stop right here, right? I can leave that sell stop where it is. Now, another thing that I'm going to do so that we can protect our account even further is I'm actually going to go ahead and move this all the way up. I'm going to move it to about right over here, because I know that I don't need that. I'd like to at least make sure that I have my progress from where I was at. Yeah, I don't want to lose that particular progress. So there would be no sense in me leaving that sell stop all the way there. But now I can go ahead and I can move that a little bit further so we can still continue to protect the profits that we have already made. And if it hits that sell stop, fine. Then that gets us into a sell trade, and then we're at a zero margin, and then we can go ahead and move on with our life. That's perfectly okay with me. In fact, just taking a look right here, just taking a look from this high point right here, about 150. So, I'd be comfortable moving that to about, I'm just looking at the high point in the candle right here. I'll actually be in that high point, by the way, it's 928.41. I could see that by looking at the if you go to the bottom, if you want to pause right here, you could see that 928.41 is what's labeled as H for me. What I'm going to do with that information of 928.41 is I'm going to actually move it just a little bit further to 927. Right there. That's fine. I'll be fine at that point right there. Totally perfect. Okay. So again, bull markets, we look for buy opportunities because we understand that in a bull market, prices are going up. Now, vice versa here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, for bear markets, we look for sell opportunities because we understand that in a bear market, prices go down, right? If not to oversimplify or not to deep dive into a very simple uh concept, but if we knew that in a bull market, if prices are still continuing to go up, then in our eyes, we believe that prices are still on or in a sell, if mind you, prices are still in fact, let me go ahead and let me step back for a second. You're in a store and you're looking at I don't know, let's say you're looking at a gallon of milk, and you understand that right now this gallon of milk is at $2, let's say. And we understand that, I'm not here to again be a Mr. Panic guy, Mr. Fearmonger, but if we understand that inflation is still inflation and prices are going to continue to go up, and that gallon of milk right there might turn into $3, $4, $5, are we going to buy that milk right now because it's at a discount? Absolutely. We are going to understand that prices are going to be up in the future. So instead of feeling the pain of a higher price, we buy the milk right now when it's at its lowest point. We believe we feel good about that because we have essentially gotten a discount on that particular product. Now, vice versa. Say that a gallon of milk is at $3. Again, just very, very, very small concepts right here, but it's for the bigger picture. If we knew that a gallon of milk is at $3, at one point it was at $5, and we still believe that because now instead of a inflationary period, we're going to a point where prices are now starting to go down. Do we, as the consumer, buy that gallon of milk at $3? Or because we have the knowledge that a gallon of milk could be as low as $2, again, not everything is set in stone, right? Not everything is, we don't have the crystal balls to where these prices are going, but we have a general idea that gallon of milk would not be at $3, but we have a general idea that it most likely be at the $2 mark. Are we going to buy that gallon of milk right now? Or are we going to wait until prices go down to when it's a cheaper price? Well, the answer, I hope, I know this isn't a live thing, so you could participate in your mind or in your own little space, I guess. But what I'm trying to say is no, you would not go for that gallon of milk at that particular price. You would instead wait until prices continue to go down. You get a bigger discount on the milk, and then you would go ahead and you would move forward in that endeavor. And so it's very much like, and now that milk situation, we now bring it to the Forex charts. We know in a bull market, we go ahead and we buy because we understand that prices will continue to go up. In a sell market, in a bear market, we sell because we understand that prices will continue to go down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now, the beautiful thing in understanding bull markets and bear markets, in that gallon of milk equation, we're really just interested in buying stuff. So if we know that we're in a bull market, then we definitely want to buy that gallon of milk. In a bear market, we definitely do not want to buy that gallon of milk. Luckily, on our side, we get to play both sides in Forex trading. We can participate in the market as the bull or the bear. Or another way of saying, we can participate in the role of being the buyer and the seller, and we can make money in any particular way that we see fit. And again, even with all that being said, it's okay to be wrong, right? If you've seen these past 20, 21 days, I hope, for those that are at this particular recording, because if I've not said it before, I'll say it again. Go back to day one, because you have to start there before we can come to here. But the idea is we all understand that I have been right, I have been wrong, it's been fun, it's been ugly, it's been all those beautiful and awful and amazing and tragic cases. Yet, again, I say that it's okay to be wrong because we understand the bigger picture that is at play, which, in a matter of speaking, is the fact that we can go ahead and we are adaptable. So we know when a bull market turns into a bear market, and we know when I'm going to close that chair, by the way, that's 30 pips. The sell stop is gone. We are back at a margin point. We are back at a zero margin. We are no longer in a open trade on this pair. So platinum is done for right now. We look at oil, nothing doing there. We look at gold versus euro, nothing doing there. We are looking at silver versus the United States dollar, nothing doing there. We are looking at gold versus USD, nothing doing there as well. So that's pretty much some of our trades that we are in right now. Just kind of looking at, being the just seeing the opportunities that we have in the market right now. And I'm sure there'll be other opportunities in the future. We just got to go ahead and make sure they get covered. So with that being said, we will be in touch for the next opportunity. All right, everybody. So we come to the conclusion of day 21 of our Forex trading journey together. And we can see that really the opportunities that came, it did not come from gold, did not come from silver, did not come from gold versus euro, did not come from oil. However, where it did come from was platinum. We got a few trading opportunities right there that allowed us to move forward in the right direction. And so we are able to go ahead and leave off on there with a couple of winning trades, a couple of trades that we took a loss on, but that's okay. We're moving forward in the journey together. And now it's just a matter of asking ourselves, what's next for day 22. So with that being said, this is going to conclude day 21. For those that have questions about what we're doing, any questions at all related to Forex trading, feel free to, or just questions in general, feel free to reach out to me on these YouTube channel comments. I am reading your comments and I'm making sure I am plucking great questions out of them so we can all move forward in the right direction. And of course, you can also reach me at the following channels. You can reach me on Facebook, Jordan Rosario. You can reach me on Instagram, Jordan Rosario 777. You can also reach me on Twitter as WC Rosario. And so with that being said, again, this is going to conclude day 21 of our trading journey. And as always, most importantly, happy trading, my friends.